I'm there we are. I hit the
We just
button.
did.
Here we go. We're live. Not live. It's the Jack and
Yes,
Show.
we're live.
No, we're recording. No, we're recording. Oh, I see. We're lying to people. Yeah, welcome to the live broadcast of the Jack and Show. Yes, we are. I'm not at the movies right now. Definitely not.
Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben.
How you doing? How you doing?
Good. We need.
Good.
I need a fix. I need a health fix, man. It's been 2 weeks. My hands are shaking.
It's been a bit, yes.
Yeah, I haven't been taking good care of myself either, if that's what he's saying.
No.
I don't like to hear that. What's
It's
going
been
on?
kind of a lost week, man.
Oh.
Yeah. A lot of people bringing me, well, it was my birthday, and people are just like, hey, you're that donut junkie, right? Yes, I am now.
Now.
Well, I was trying, and, I mean, it never goes away. Any addict will tell you that, yes, I haven't touched cigarettes for 20 years, and yet in my mind, I'm smoking every day.
I not only have not had a donut, Ben, they built that new Dunkin' Donut drive-through 2 blocks from where I live, and I passed it every day and almost hit people who are terrible drivers coming out of there, but I have not gone in myself. I want you to know.
Cedarburg? Is that where that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. On Washington Avenue, kind of the south part of town.
Well, that's such a great thing. And along with the crumble cookie in Grafton, I mean, that's just what we need. More of that.
Someone brought me my first crumble cookie on my birthday. It was what they call the caramel apple one. It was good.
Overrated.
It was.
Good. It's so funny when you go to Crumble Cookie. I was in there with my children.
You entered. You darted.
You always blame the children. You went to. And, I think the children are used to your beard, like they say for gay people. They say your kids. You went to Culver's with your kids one time. Sure, Ben.
Yeah.
And the cookies, they're huge. They're gigantic cookies, and they have like the nutritional stats for the cookie. Up on the board, and it was like, 132 calories. And I'm like, what? I'm like, how is this gigantic cookie 132 calories? And she's like, no, that's just one serving. And there were six servings per cookie.
6 servings per cookie.
I didn't know that. She didn't know. Okay.
Calories a cookie. Like, I mean, you got to slice it up like a pizza to eat it, and get your,
And I should have.
Yeah, right.
Did you do what you do with pizza? Just fold it over and mouth it down like a sandwich?
I had only 8 minutes to eat it.
It's so hard to not overconsume. It's so tasty and it's so sugary. And I would love to see the person that stopped at just one serving.
No. I've had my serving.
I'm done.
I could never. Whereas I say I could always. But anyway,
just avoiding that stuff all the way because it just I don't know. Once you stop eating that stuff, it completely loses control. Your addiction to it. It just completely goes away. The sugary foods.
Well, yeah.
Well, we've taken you on a road you hadn't intended, Ben, which has never happened before. What would you like? What would you like to talk about today?
Well, I was going to talk to you guys about because I know you didn't. I wasn't able to talk about this last week, but it was my topic, kind of through my channels. It's a fermented food that I've been investigating that I feel is just like a health rock star. And the food is of Asian origin. It is a traditional fermented food eaten in places like Japan and many other countries. And it's made from a fermented soybean, and it's called natto.
All right, let's just get this out of the way right now. Full disclosure, I have the most important question, and then we can go on from there. It doesn't taste like ass, does it? Because a lot of fermented foods just straight up taste like ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, totally. And I agree with you. Yeah, in the world of fermented foods, they all have kind of like a stinky factor, right? Yeah. Like sauerkraut is fermented or kimchi, and they all kind of, you take a big sniff and
SG.
Yeah. They're kind of, and natto is no different. I would actually say natto is slightly less abrasive than like sauerkraut or kimchi. Because those are things that you need, and they're an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Well, there's one. Have you guys ever tried Kathleen's coconut kefir?
A lot of people have talked about that here at the library. They rave about it.
I don't know, Kathleen.
That stuff actually tastes super good, and that is an example of, in my opinion, I mean, everybody has their tastes, but that stuff tastes great, and that is an example of a fermented food that doesn't taste like ass.
Jack, Kathleen is she used to run Slowpokes in Grafton.
Yeah.
Now she's the Kefir master over here in Cedarburg, right at the at Franny's Market. Is that her main hangout?
Franny's Market is where I still get that. I tried to get her to bring it and let us carry it here at the club, but I think she's only got so much bandwidth of where she can put it. But I think that stuff is great.
You remember that old
huge believer in fermented food, but even though natto is a fermented food, that is not why I love it so much. So as you guys know, I am kind of somebody who is delving into the origins of heart disease, the number one killer here in America, and actually in the entire industrialized world, except for one country, which is Japan.
I was going to say,
every other country, France, Canada, everywhere else in the world, that's kind of more of a modern type of country. Heart disease is the number one killer.
Whoa, Ben. You said France. Now that's the place all the time they talk about. They drink the red wine. They eat the full butter. They eat the bread. They do this, and they still live forever. Now, you're saying they still have heart disease?
It's still the number one cause of death, yes.
Okay, all right.
Just like with cardiologists, the number one cause of death with cardiologists is heart disease. So, but anyways, it was interesting to me that Japan was like this one industrialized country where that wasn't the case. And in fact, when the Japanese move to America and become Japanese Americans, then heart disease becomes the number one cause of death. So it's interesting. It probably is something in their environment or something that they're doing that is causing that. I don't think it's just a genetic thing, So
are you saying Japanese expatriates who come here to America immediately jump on our heart disease thing?
I don't know. It's just something about the way we do things.
One trip to Burger King and it's all over from downhill from there.
It's all over. There's many reasons for that, but one of the things that I found absolutely fascinating, there was a huge study done, a 15-year-long perspective observational study done it was published in the British Medical Journal in 2020, so recently, and it was looking at, all of these different things, and they kind of picked their markers of what they were going to look at the beginning of the study, so they couldn't cheat as much as most of those studies do. So at the end of the study, they were looking at, okay, like how many heart attacks did we have? What did the people do that had heart attacks? What did they didn't do? And the number one thing that correlated with the people not having like a heart episode was natto consumption. And so it's like, wow, that's really interesting. Is it just because it's a fermented food? Mm-hmm. But then when you looked at that they teased that out, and it wasn't. The people who are eating other types of fermented food, but not the natto, had a higher risk. So that was a really fascinating thing to me. And so you start to look into this natto stuff, which has two different substances in it that I think are the reason why I personally believe they're the reason why it is heart protective, possibly for some people. And it is, first of all, the number one natural highest food source of vitamin K2. And that is a vitamin that we here in the United States are extremely deficient in. So, and that vitamin has many things that do good. And then the second thing is, natto has an enzyme called nattokinase, and it's actually the only natural source of that enzyme in the world. And there are several different placebo-controlled studies on adults or humans that looked at that nattokinase actually acts as a little bit of like a clot buster or clot preventer. And most of heart disease, strokes, things like that are clot related. So it's like this natural clot buster that you have. And that's why if anybody wanted to ever try natto or the supplement nattokinase, you would definitely talk to your doctor first, because if you're on something like Eliquis or some type of anti-clotting agent, you would want to talk to your physician first before trying it.
Sure.
So sorry, I just downloaded a lot of stuff on you, but I just
no. So early Jack, questions.
Can you get a picture of what natto looks like?
I sure can. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. It looks gooey.
It's gooey. It's slimy. It's gooey. And
sell it.
Yeah. It's like caramel.
Yes. You need like 2 tablespoons of. There it is. Yeah. So it has this like that sticky, webby kind of texture. It's the texture that throws people off the most, not the taste, in my opinion. When that slime starts to like separate, like it's a little bit unusual. but I don't think it tastes that bad. So you need about 2 tablespoons to get the effect of what was in the natto-kinase studies or that large observational study. They were eating about 2 tablespoons of natto a day, which is not very much. And I just blend it into my protein shake in the morning. So I don't even taste it. I just blend it right in there, and it's kind of all the other stuff makes it not.
Your shake isn't gooey?
No,
you don't pull the cup away and it goes.
If anything, my shake is even more silky smooth.
That's you all over the place.
Hey, ladies. So this picture here looks extremely appetizing.
Do you like that one?
Yeah, this one here where
the spider webs.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm waiting for Aragog or Shelob from Lord of the Rings to show up and bite me.
It's like cheese on a pizza. Same thing.
Yeah, totally. It's like
it has a consistency of mozzarella cheese, but I suspect it doesn't have the flavor of mozzarella cheese.
Yeah. So you can get natto-kinase supplements at any local health food store, but natto, the actual substance, has gotten a lot easier to get lately because there are people who are producing it, reputable producers of it here in the United States that are selling it on Amazon. So
let me ask you this, Ben. What if you cover it in some of your favorite spices, or cover it in some of your? There's obviously you shake some whatever.
I've stuck it in bean burritos. I have put it on top of salads. I've done all other kinds of things with it. I still think it's super gross, so I blend it in my shake. So you can buy all that other stuff.
Wow.
End of story.
If you're worried about your strength of your bones, or you are a little concerned about your heart, after talking to your physician, it might be something to add in your arsenal. And I am always a fan of adding natural, real food products versus adding supplements or medications. Sometimes medications are necessary. Of course, yes, we all need to take medicine if we need to. But, if there is a way that traditionally we've gotten it through food, normally that works out better than if someone tries to pick one little piece out of that traditional food and say, well, this is why, for example, like turmeric, the spice. Right. They pick that one little thing out. This is why turmeric works. And oh, really? You really know that? Like, I don't know if you know that, so, so I'm more of a fan of traditionally they've used that spice historically. Why don't we just use it the way they were using it? Yeah. And then we don't have to worry about picking this one little thing out and hoping that the scientists were right. And that's the same thing with natto. I feel like you pick the natto-kinase out and say, well, this is where all the benefit came from. Well, I don't think so, because natto is a prebiotic, a probiotic, highest natural source of vitamin K2, natto-kinase, huge source of magnesium, copper, many other minerals, and several other vitamins. So to say that you take that one little thing out of there and that is what causes that entire potential good benefit, I'm calling BS on that.
Have you met anybody who says, oh, natto, I love that shit?
Well, I think it's just so take someone who's never had sauerkraut before and see what they think about that. I would say right now, if I'm going to have a brat, you better believe I'm going to load that sauerkraut on there. But the first
I thought you were going to say you put natto.
Put natto on your brat. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah. You are going to have a brat. You had a brat in the last 10 years? You've had one?
That is one of my weaknesses. Like, if
good it has to
be a good brat.
Ben is human.
Actually, even like Milwaukee County Stadium, what? How do they not have good brats there? I had a brat there at a brewer game recently. It was the crappiest, weakest.
They bombed it, huh?
Wow! Brat I ever had. I'm like, this is depressing to Milwaukee that we have brats that crappy. Maybe it was just the vendor I went to. I don't know, but
no, it's Johnsonville. I talked to the usher and one of the ushers, and I said, we gotta have rice. Don't get a brat. Those things have been on the grill for hours. Go,
$15 from one limp little brat, right? Like a bun and no sauerkraut anywhere. It was like, but this, I almost threw it out. Like, why would I?
The most dangerous episode we've ever done.
All right, Ben. Here, this is for all the times you've told us about health food. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. This is where I'd like you to go for your brat fix. Go to. Have you ever heard of Schweiss? Schweiss meats in Fredonia. Yeah. It is. You walk in.
Stockville.
No, it's Fredonia. 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 The brats are unbelievable. They have all these different kinds of them you can get, but get the traditional regular brat. The brats are real brats. They're good sized brats, and the flavor is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna go through the trouble of eating a brat, which may or may not be good for you, probably not. Like at least get a good one, right? Right.
I
did go to the Bavarian beer festival.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Thingamajig, and they had a brat vendor there, and those were really good. I had a Hungarian brat.
You got to go to the horse's mouth ultimately. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool.
So Natto.
Natto.
Yeah,
Natto. Don't you see my name? Look at my name, Natto.
Natto
Man Jack.
Jack. I like
and I can't believe it's not Natto.
I just thought it'd be an interesting topic to talk about because everyone's talking about fermented food so much. But are there fermented foods that even have additional benefits? And I truly believe, and I wouldn't be eating this disgusting nasty food if I didn't believe that it had some serious benefits for me.
And you say pre and probiotics, so that's going to help your digestion, obviously, too, because that's all part of the fermented thing. I drink not the kefir, but I do. Yeah, I do the what's the fermented tea that I like? Kombucha. Yeah, which I drink. I try to get some of that as best I can, and not the trashier one. There's a couple that you shouldn't drink. Like Pepsi makes one. Don't do that one. Kavita. Kavita's owned by Pepsi. Don't touch it because it's awful. I mean, it's a ton of sugar in there.
No, I mean, I think fermented foods are, historically since the beginning of time, human beings have fermented foods and eaten them, and I think there's substantial benefit to them. And they should be included in the diet. And the fact that they're nearly absent from the conventional American diet, it is probably one of the reasons we talked about many times in your show, like life expectancy is dropping, like things are, even our medications are getting better, our hospital procedures are getting better, but like we're dying sooner because we are doing all the fundamentals wrong.
Well, I got a lot of movies I got to finish
watching. Well, here's a movie for you. Instead of reefer madness, we can call it kefir madness and start a whole new thing on it. Yeah, so give me my kefir. Kefir's.
Kefir's good, actually. I mean, it's just a yogurt shake, is what it is. And
is that what it is?
Essentially, like yeah. There's a Lifeway is the one that they sell in grocery stores, and they seem to be the main kefir dealer out there. So, but you can do other. I mean, I'm sure you can do more natural and more localized versions of that too.
I love Kathleen's is like so delicious. It's almost like eating ice cream, like you said.
Do you do it plain? Just plain
coconut one. So you
down the hatch.
Dairy.
No, do you add that to your shake then, or do you just do it plain? How do you do that?
No, there's only so many things you can put in a shake with Natto.
Natto kefir.
My YouTube channel video today is on my Natto shake, so I'm showing.
Oh, cool.
What I believe to be one of the healthiest shakes in the world. So with the components that I'm putting in there, which the 99% of what is going into my shake is actual food. It's not powders. It's not supplements. It's not It's not daily greens or any of that kind of stuff. It's all the real stuff, which is, as you know, I'm a big believer in eat food, which even though that sounds so controversial nowadays, like the common wisdom is like, let's just eat a bunch of chemicals and let's take every food and turn it into this kind of Frankenstein, bizarre, ultra processed thing that never was. And like, that's normal. Like, but you're like this abnormal, weird health freak if you eat food, which
it's unreasonable. What about you got shut up and chew your beet chew. I saw beet chews the other day advertised.
Beet chews. I know. Oh no, why does everything have to be put in a gummy? Like, I want to take great monohydrate. Well, I can't.
There's no way that's going to work out. There's no way that's going to be good.
Yeah, no, it is. It's absolutely. We have it so backwards that it is just astounding to me. And one of the things I've noticed, as I am not a big consumer of sugar or processed foods, as you can imagine, is that I 1000% don't miss those foods. In fact, if I eat them now, I many times think they taste gross.
Yeah.
Because they taste so bizarre. They're either so sweet, or so devoid of any flavor. The only flavors they have are salt, saturated fat, sugar, white sugar. It's all.
I can't even. You're getting me hungry, man. Let's line this up so I can get some saturated fat.
Jack actually goes into restaurants and
the world of different spices and different things you can do to make stuff taste better.
Ben, to be honest, to be truthful, I because of you, I can't even go into a grocery store now alone. I always feel like Dr. Ben is on my shoulder. He's like, if it's in a box, don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Put that back. Because I'll see something that says screaming whole grain. I'll go, and then I'll hear, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I took his advice to heart, and I just went in there and started eating all the boxes. because he said
a lot of fiber in those boxes. A lot of roughage.
Yep.
That'll feel good.
Very cool. Now, Ben, have you introduced natto to your family? What are your kids' reaction to it, if you have?
So the only thing I've done so far is I have given them a teeny little bit of sip of my shake in the morning, which my shake, I contend my shake does not taste disgusting. I would give it a C-. Like it's not, it's not like an A+. You like pick this as your favorite thing in the world to drink, but I will tell you, when I am done personally with ingesting that, which I did about 2 hours ago,
with the C- shake,
I feel fantastic. I never have that. You know how you eat, especially processed, refined, nasty, sugary, disgusting foods.
Indeed.
You eat those foods and you have that moment of like satisfaction when they're getting all the dopamine receptors, such as your brain are all going off. And then like an hour later, you feel like crap.
No, 40 minutes.
40 minutes, like whatever.
No.
You pay the price. You immediately you feel good. And that is one of the most interesting, even though it's a C-, because does every meal need to be an A+? Does every meal have to be like, you can
That's
have
a good point.
C. The C is kind of a normal range, but they were
C-.
That's
below average.
Can we raise that up to a C+?
And you are the spokesman. And you're saying you're the cheerleader, and you say, "Go C-."
I got an 8-year-old to sit. That's what I should do on the videos. I should have one of my kids drink it.
Yes,
you should. We'll play.
I do like that old life commercial.
The hell out of that, man.
Mikey likes it.
Yeah. Mike, he won't eat it. He won't drink it.
That's a TikTok just waiting to happen.
Yeah, totally. Even my child will drink this shake. So.
Or better if he sprays.
I've had several grown adults try natto on my recommendation for my last video. They ordered it from this deli in New York, and I got it. And then one of the guys, he's like 49 years old. He's a giant baby. He's just like, oh my God, it's just so, I can't do it. He ended up giving me the natto. I'm like, you are such a loser. Like, just you need it. Like, he really should be taking it, So he's like,
I don't know, man. Who's the guy who's slugging the C- shake every morning?
Kidding.
Who's the other?
Gave him the recipe. He's like, no way.
What a great scam you have going.
For more adventurous listeners who check with their physician first if they're on any type of blood thinning medication, natto might be something to incorporate into your diet for good bone health and good heart health.
Ben, I know your scam. You just exposed it. You're preaching natto to everyone. They're gonna go hate it, give it to you. You'll never have to buy your own natto again.
Supply and demand economics. I like it.
That's an interesting point that you bring up, Jack. So natto, if you were to take 2 tablespoons a day and you had it most mornings, it costs about $1.50 a day to take.
Oh, that's not bad.
About the same as a bottle of vitamin K2. It rounds out. Like now you don't have to take a vitamin K2 supplement. Now you don't have to take a magnesium supplement. Now you don't have to take fiber. Like everything is a supplement. Like why don't you just get it from the food? Like natto takes care of like 5 or 6 different supplements that most people have on their shelves in their pantry.
Savings.
So,
yeah,
it's called savings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What you drinking there, Ben? Is that tea or black coffee?
It's black coffee.
Okay, very good. Just curious.
Ben, what's in there?
Is that Dr. Pepper?
Is it saturated fat in there? Come clean.
Interesting. So how long have you known about natto? When did all this start for you?
I started to hear a lot of people talking about nanokinase in kind of like the heart disease like circles that I listen to, different cardiologists or researchers, or they're talking about the reductionistic approach of taking the nattokinase out of the natto. But then, a couple of people kind of put it together like, well, what about natto? And then I started to look into that. And then when I started to see like that one huge study where it's like, wow, you look at that, like it kind of proves out to me that might be a food to eat for someone like myself that doesn't want to die of a heart attack in his 50s. So
how do those people who do those studies in general have to be the best salespeople in the world? Because who would fund? Say, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do it for 15 years. We're not going to know the results for 15 years. We're just going to hang in there. You give me the money to do this study. Somehow they get the money to do it for 15 years. You know?
I mean, those are those large observational studies.
Yeah.
Many people don't think the information from those types of studies is as good as obviously a placebo-controlled, double-blind, type of a study, which is a totally different study design. But I'm not one to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think when you see things like in the case of natto, where the general population is displaying the trait that you're wondering about, and then they have an observational study that kind of also feathers out something that, and then you also have some placebo-controlled double-blind studies on nattokinase that also support it. Then you start to go, you piece it all together, and you're like, okay, maybe there's something here, But it's a long study, but they were getting many data points out of that study. It wasn't just the natto.
Well, let me ask you this, Ben. I mean, I'm getting my fermentation from, like I said, about 2 or 3 bottles of kefir a week, and then like a daily Greek yogurt. Is that equivalent to what the fermentation you're getting from that, or is it still like, well, we could probably even do better? I don't know.
Of that to do, a lot of cultures have a little bit of fermented food with every meal. I'd like a small little smidgen, just like it's usually like a little plop. Like natto's a little plop, sauerkraut's a little plop. Kombucha is a little different. It's you're ingesting it and then even like kefir, like Kathleen's kefir, I just little plop. It's not like it's this huge meal, but I've been playing around with maybe having a teeny bit at each meal, but then and I don't know the answer to that. I don't think anybody does. So
okay, yeah. Interesting. Always looking for definitives. We need definitive. What is definitive here? And
that's the one thing you're never going to get. That's never going to get. They're going to talk about one thing, and then it's going to be the exact opposite 5 years later.
Right. So. That's true. That's very true. Excellent. All right. Well, we got our people natto friendly here. I have to ask, how's the cookbook coming? I know you've been plugging away on that. Is that close to publication?
It's pretty good. I'm trying to get that finished up. I got the cover done. I got all the recipes done. I just got to do I keep making it more complicated. I'm trying to dumb it back down to just being a very simple book about how to start incorporating real food into your diet.
Nice. Cool. So, excellent. Well, we will be delighted to carry it here at the Cedarburg Public Library, and we'll have to have an author visit. It's part of the deal, so that'll be great. And cool. Jack, what else you got for the doc?
Well, it's interesting, the natto stuff. You always come up with new things. You're always on the leading edge, so it's good to talk to you. But I don't know, Bulldog, do you have a minute or two?
Oh, totally, yeah.
Okay. Ben, would you mind talking a little? Do you have another 5 minutes or so? I'd like to talk about your gluteus minimus thing that you
be one of those. Be one of those shows. Okay.
Yes. What do you like? It's great.
Kids, leave the room. Get grandma out of here. We're going there.
The gluteus medius video that we did.
Yeah. Gluteus medius, not minimus.
The medius. Yes, I kind of left that in the hands of Rock and Jeremiah to do that video, and that's what we got. I will say it's rated R. As far as that video goes, as far as I'm concerned, but that was hilarious. I laughed out loud several times watching that. But if I had been involved in that video, it probably would have been more serious. But I don't know.
You're pretty loose in those videos, Ben. What are you talking about?
I don't think I'm that loose. That was. I think there was about 5 minutes of Rock's butt being shown in that. I mean, look at it. That is the entire video is Rock's butt.
I'm sure he hated that too. You
can tell he didn't like that. But
look at poor Jeremiah.
All the information in that video was very sound. The exercises that they picked were very good. And like I said in the email I sent out to my list, the gluteus medius is kind of like the gluteus medius is like the unwanted stepchild of the gluteus.
All I'm allowed to show.
Yeah.
Everybody's working the gluteus maximus, getting their butt as big as possible. And everyone's forgetting about there's this really, really important stabilizer muscle that works more in a lateral or rotational component, which is different than the glute max or the quads. But very, very important to include in your work that you do if you're doing strength training. You gotta feather it in. You gotta get some gluteus medius stuff. So you like that video, Jack? Huh?
Well,
I'll tell Rock you like the video.
Oh God, don't tell him. His head is already bigger than his ass, and his ass is only big.
Yeah, he's something else. We've been trying to get him in videos every week now because he does such a good job.
Oh my God! Good luck keeping him out of it.
I know. Yeah, totally.
You better watch it. He's not going to let you back in, for God's sake.
Right. I'm out.
We're putting an indie film together next year. I'll have to tap him for a if he's that much of a ham. I'll have to tap him for a
really
starring role.
Yeah.
Come in for a reading.
Oh my God. Very cool. Well, cool. What's going on at the club, Ben, in general? Anything?
Well, we have our largest personal training special of the year that's coming up in about a week. It's called the Spooky Special, and we run it every October because I love Halloween. And it is basically 1/3 off of personal training. And that is for individuals that either are coming from outside of our gym that aren't members or members that are members of the gym. Anyone can do that, but it's 1/3 off training, which if you buy a 10-pack of training, you get 3 extra sessions for free. So if any of your listeners are ever interested in starting with a personal trainer, especially one of the awesome ones at Form and Fitness, this is a great time to do it because, 13 sessions, you could do 1 a week. You could spread that over, 3 months, 4 months.
Right.
You get some really good professional help with your
sure.
workout program and work your gluteus mediuses.
Oh, yeah, very, very good.
Don't be an ass. Take him up on this
on this special. I love that it's the same for members and new members and non-members. I hate those offers that say new money only or new members only. Like, what? I'm your core.
A third discount is a pretty big discount too. I mean,
if
you pay your staff, there's like nothing left over. We're basically giving it away for free. So but it's a way to expose people to personal training.
Right.
There's a reason why we have 32 trainers on staff here at Form and Fitness is because we do it very well. And
militia.
They are some of, not to say there aren't great professionals at other organizations, which I'm sure there are. I just really feel strongly that we have some really fantastic trainers here. We spend a lot of time educating them, continuing education, things of that nature. And we really hand select the best ones that we can find in the area.
Nice.
So,
cool.
Very good.
That.
They are. They're great. Got a great mix, all different styles.
What's the cutoff of that? 31st then? I mean, you have to jump in before?
Yeah, I think it's the last 3 days of October. I'm not exactly sure. We're going to have an ad in the news graphic. That's
right on.
And Facebook ads and things. But it's coming up here.
As we get closer, we can shoot our mouth off about it here too. So
right. Yep. Totally.
Cool. All right. Next week, Halloween candy, Ben, and substitutes.
What are we dropping in those bags for the kids?
You love Halloween. You got to tell us. Send us the right way. What are we going to do?
I think
here's your natto. Here's your natto.
I think you just got to go with it on Halloween. That's the only time of year I do have a couple of those little Halloween candies I like, but you can't be weird about it.
With natto is great because if you've seen Ghostbusters, we can tell the kids we're giving you ectoplasm.
I
think you just leave it alone. You just let Halloween happen.
All right, before we let you go, this is a quiz for both of you. There's one. What is the number one, according to confectionery sellers in the U.S., retailer, wholesalers? Guess what the number one Halloween candy in Wisconsin is?
Wisconsin.
Yes.
Oh man.
Snickers. My kids always used to bring way too many Snickers, and they didn't like them, so I ate them all.
Oh, they didn't like Snickers?
No. Is it like one of those like Sour Patch, like one of those kind of Sour Patchy kind of things?
No. Both good guesses. It's not what I thought. It's a well-known name. Butterfinger.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
Do you see his face? Do you see Ben's face?
Bart Simpson down there. I figure out my Butterfinger.
My favorite ones, but I'm gonna have to check your data on that.
I will send you the link. Then you can check it out.
I don't know about that.
That's every state.
So what's your favorite, Ben? Well, you were about to tell us your favorite.
I like peanut M&Ms. I've always liked those.
That's good. Yeah.
I'm kind of a classic. Butterfingers. I'll have an Almond Joy every so often.
Ooh,
those aren't bad.
I love them.
Didn't like them as a kid, but I sure like them now.
Oh, I love coconut fan, big time.
I call it the candy tax. I have all the kids they all dump their candy out, then they sort it into different piles of all the different types of chocolatey candies versus and then I have the candy tax where I take one candy from each of the piles, and then that's my candy.
Oh man,
that sounds like taxation without representation.
Yes. It's parentization. That's what it is. Ben, what I do for my coconut fix, I take a Mounds because that's dark chocolate, and then just get a regular almond and eat it with it, and it's like getting the benefits. So it's like hacking.
Make your own.
Ooh,
that's right.
Hey, I had a question for Ben. I've been sitting on this for 2 weeks. Do you have time for like 30 more seconds?
Yeah, totally.
I bought a because I've been trying to do more nuts, as we said. When I'm mindlessly eating, I use nuts instead, and that's been great. And a lot of pistachios. I got a lot of pistachios lately, so I'm doing good with that. All unsalted because I'm a high blood pressure dude. I bought some unsalted cashews. I look at from Walmart. I look at the label, and there's all these exotic oils in there. What's going on, man? Is that natural, or is that? Or am I just? Have they lost their mind at Walmart?
In the ingredient list, there was oils listed.
A bunch like coconut oil and this. I mean, all the oils that you should avoid like the plague. And they're all listed on my unsalted cashews.
Nuts already have a nice natural source of fat inside. Yeah. You don't need to put oil on a nut.
I was like, what in God's name is going on here?
Yeah, I would toss those and just get one. There should be one.
Well,
ingredient, one ingredient in nuts, and that should be like almond.
Right. You would think.
Any other ingredients?
I was just like, is this naturally occurring? What's going on here? I mean, why would there be? I mean, peanut oil, coconut oil, every possible oil that looked like murderous. I might like Jack the Ripper oil. That was like,
all the bad oils. Yeah,
I was floored me that on unsalted nut that so as an unsalted nut, you figure people who are trying to watch their
weird
diet. That blew my mind. So great value nuts, cashews will be the end of you.
Great value.
Yeah, just toss those ones, Bulldog. Move on.
Come on, man.
Well, I tossed them, but I didn't want to. It's $3. I didn't want to.
I know where you tossed them.
They definitely were tossers. So anyway, they were good. I didn't dislike them,
sure they were good.
But yeah. So okay, cool. Hookers, don't go for the great value hookers is what is that what we're ending our week?
You're not going to get long-lasting value out of
that. Not Form and Fitness endorsed. Well, you're the one showing all the asses on your YouTube
That's
channel.
Right. Yeah. Right. What's going on?
With that. I had nothing to do with the production of that video. I was just as shocked as you were.
Thank you, Ben. Have a fantastic Friday. We hope to see you next week as well with more good stuff. And we'll go from there. All right, take care.
Have a great weekend.
All right, take care, Ben.
Form and
Have
Fitness.
a great weekend.
We'll see you around.
Go get him. Very cool.
All right, he is out. That was a good one. Natto. I hadn't heard a damn thing about it. So
I hadn't until he sent that text. Have I talked about Natty yet? So I looked it up. So
I thought you guys had something with a weird code word for like, we're gonna make fun of Bulldog or something. Are we gonna Natto Bulldog next week?
We don't need a code for that.
All right then, that's fine.
Hey, this is non-Ben, but I got this from Mel today. I want to just start this. We're gonna put it on the show.
Yeah.
On November 15th, Mel's is being a big part, along with the local Rotary clubs of Wisconsin, with Chris Herron giving a talk about addiction and overcoming addictions. It's on November 15th. It is at the Cedarburg Performing Arts Center.
Oh, nice.
It's free.
Oh, wow.
It is free, but you need to it's open to free to the public. No registration needed. Just show up.
Okay.
So come on in. It's an important topic. The guy was an NBA player for one time, and he's a recovering. I don't think you ever recover completely, right? So. Anyway, it's a great thing coming up. Mel's played a key role. Mel himself has been a key player in bringing him here for the stories. Yeah. So it's going to be at the Cedarburg Performing Arts Center on November 15th, and I wanted to do that.
Cool. We'll talk about that as we get closer as well. And we've had him on the. Did we have him on the show?
No,
we have not. Oh, well, we should. I mean, we got this show here. We could have him on. So
we're on a roll, man. We had Nick Butler. We had Dr. Ben.
Yeah.
We had the agent. It's been a good week.
It has been a fun week. It was a truncated week filled with reruns. And this will air tonight. We're obviously taping this at midday here on Friday. And I'm going to see Friday the 13th, the original 1978.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Jamie Lee Curtis in that one? Is that?
No, that would be Halloween, which will be at the North Shore in 2 weeks. So I'm going to do that one too. I'd never seen those on the big screen because I was just a baby.
I saw all those the first one at the Riv, and the Riv was the Riv, not the Rivoli.
Right.
It's the Riv.
Back when you'd leave your shoes in the soda, the stuck-on soda.
Oh my God!
Good time.
Something. Yeah, Jerry and Alice won't let that happen.
No way, no anymore. Over. So cool.
Very cool. Friday the 13th, and it is Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like a religious thing here. So
in October.
In October, I know, right? And I got 2 black cats. I'm rolling. So all is well.
All right. Okay. Good.
All right. That's
it.
Show. Yeah, truncated show tonight. This will run, like I said, 7 p.m. in our normal slot, and it'll end early. Go do something fun, and have a weekend. I'll see you on Sunday.
That's right, Sunday morning.
Yeah,
I'll be there at like 8:30, I think, or something like that.
How long is this going to be about? Like a couple hours?
Yeah, a couple hours.
All right.
She sent an email. I forwarded it to you.
I'll have to read it.
Yes.
All right. Very good.
Well, no, she sent it. You're in on it. You were.
I think that's true. Yeah, I definitely will read it then. Yeah. All right. Cool. Take care, everybody. See you next week. Tuesday, back on the air. And until then, enjoy yourself and do something nice for somebody, or be someone who has